I don't want to overreact because it's preseason, but it's pretty clear to me the Canucks are winning the Stanley Cup.
The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to the first postcast here on Locked On Canucks during an 8-1 Canucks preseason win over the Calgary Flames. And I know, Kyle, I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. They are winning the Stanley Cup this year. Just remember it, okay? Just remember that. But a few takeaways tonight. We'll get into it here on the postcast. But Quinn Hughes, the best player in the world. Trevor Zegras said so. Not just the best player in hockey right now, but the best player of all time. Even Quinn Hughes skating at 20% out there ends up with 3 points on the night. And man, oh man, I know it was a bit of a sad sack Calgary Flames squad, but you think about the great players in the NHL, how the Oilers consistently end up in the top three of their division, even though they're a two-guy hockey team a lot of the time. Quinn Hughes, I'm telling you, man, and for everything that went wrong last year, it's still a miracle that the Canucks got to 90 points, and they did it because of Quinn Hughes. And I'm telling you, the Canucks are making the playoffs because they have Quinn Hughes on their hockey team, even if the rest of the team is below average.
Yeah. The Canucks are Stanley Cup contenders if Quinn Hughes is like one of the best players in hockey consistently, and Kevin Lankin and Thatcher Demko are some of the best goalies in hockey for real. Anyways, let's be more specific and get to a lot of your comments. But first, let's run the grades here on Locked On Canucks.
Man, oh man, I missed that bum, Kyle Bowen. There you go. I got the grades here on Locked On Canucks. And let's start alphabetically, man. Let's start with good old Brock Boeser. Brock Boeser scoring tonight. I guess his first official goal of the preseason. Again, he was skating at 30% the other night, maybe up to 35% tonight. Brock Boeser looks ready to go. No, I'm telling you right now, no one's getting more than a B- tonight. Brock Boeser, he's getting a B, even when he's skating at 35%. Connor Garland, I'm giving him a B+ because we kind of knew this going into the preseason. Adam Foote alluded to it. He played there last year, but looking great on the penalty kill. And I think that's one of my main takeaways, especially if he's on the second power play unit playing on the third line. Can this guy be a top penalty killer for the Vancouver Canucks? It's looking more and more likely. R.C. Baines, Kyle, maybe we'll stop here to get your word on R.C. Baines, but a guy firmly on the bubble. Again, he's waiver eligible. He's got to earn it to make this team. I think it's more likely than not he makes it because of Nils Höglander's injury. I thought he had a great game tonight. I know he bobbled the puck a couple times, but good setup on the 8-1 goal of the game. For some reason, a polarizing player among the fan base, but I think R.C. Baines did nothing to hurt his stock in terms of making the Canucks. I gave him a B+ tonight.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like he's polarizing because, there's some like stupid reasons for real, but more notably and more realistic, I guess, when it comes to like why he's polarizing is the fact that I feel as if he has gotten opportunities, right? Like he's not just like a bottom six guy when he joins the Canucks. Like we talked about him having chances with Miller. He practiced with Hedl not too long ago. And I know today it was like the AHL line and things, but the fan base just wants more from him. And, I like the way he ended things off today. That was a beautiful play to Sasan. Hopefully he can carry that momentum on the last preseason game on Friday, because I know he's going to get another shot to play. But I still feel like he has more to bring. And, I was thinking about this, not to get like super bold here, but it is what it is. Who's that guy in Chicago that's available? Lucas Reichel?
Yeah.
Like, is there a world where it's Lucas Reichel for R.C. Baines, like a 7th round pick? R.C. Baines has a connection with Connor Bedard. Dude, I'm a big Surrey guy. I want R.C. Baines to succeed so much so that I'm willing to let him go if it's too much pressure for this guy to play in Vancouver. Now, again, he played a good game today. Good game today. He did. Like there's moments where he looked timid and stuff like that. But all in all, he made that great play to Sasan. But I just wonder, because again, Trevor, you and I have been there, and you're living your own dream in Vancouver right now. Like as much of a blessing it is, there is like this weird type of pressure there. And I wonder if he can't tap into his instincts so much so consistently because he's playing for the Vancouver Canucks. And I know he did it for the Abbotsford Canucks, but let's be real. Nobody dreams of playing for the Abbotsford Canucks. when you're born in the Lower Mainland. So all in all, I'm impressed. I would give him a B as well, a strong B, an 82%. But I'm just curious, man. I'm curious because he is polarizing, and even for me, sometimes I'm left wanting more.
100%. And let's put the racist bullshit aside, because there's some of that floating around online we're posting about Archie Baines, man. Just the hockey player. And like, cut that crap out if you're one of those people. Again, I think people expect skill, expect high hockey IQ, and he has moments where he slips and falls or he bobbles the puck, but he's still a young NHLer at the end of the day, and he's got a lot in his toolkit. Okay, Joseph Labate. No, credit to Joseph Labate getting another game in despite getting waived. Some time with the PK tonight, roughed things up. Give the guy a B-. Phil Perona could give him a B-. Derek Forbort, I'm giving this guy an A- tonight, okay? I gotta let you chime in here quick, but in terms of defense activating, you don't expect Derek Forbort to be that guy, but he was the guy shorthanded. He was the guy to even strength, some great defensive zone breakups, and make sure he gets in the face of the opposition as well. All good things that Derek Forbort did tonight.
Yeah, you're the biggest Derek Forbort fan. I don't know if your cousins with this guy. We talked about it in the earlier episode today. Go check it out. But I just want to stop and give Joe Labate some credit because you know me. Look at me. Look at my face. Don't I look like a good old Canadian boy? Of course I do, because I am a good old Canadian boy. Okay, I grew up on that Don Cherry. I'm not apologizing for that. That it is what it is. And I got to give credit to Joe Labate because he's standing up for the boys all the time, constantly. He's a what's the word? The nuisance. He's a nuisance constantly. In his own world, he's living a big dream too, full circle moment. And I feel as if he's done everything he could so far. And in another world where the Canucks don't have like the top AHL line in hockey or in the AHL, or they don't have like Ratula Karamaki, Braden Coots stepping it up, maybe on a team that didn't make the playoffs the year prior, Joe Labate can crack the opening day lineup based on, various reasons. Again, the Canucks over the last 10 years, not a successful team, boom, bam, but they do have a high floor. Like Alvin and Rutherford have built that, and that's at the detriment to a guy like Joe Labate. But I just want to give this guy a lot of credit. Okay, again, I'm a good old Canadian boy. I don't know if he's Canadian. I'm assuming he is with the name Labate. But I'm just impressed, man. And any person who wears the blue and green for real and is doing whatever it takes to defend the boys and be a piece of shit, I'm up for it because I don't like the Canucks being soft, and he is the furthest thing from soft.
Hell no, man. And I got to correct you here. He's actually a native of, was it Burnsville, Minnesota? He's from Brock Boeser's hometown, baby. Burnsville, Minnesota. And Kyle, we got to cheer for a guy like this because he would be actually one of the few players in this organization older than you and I, born in April of 1993. This is a couple months ahead of you and me here. So shout out to Joe Labate. Marcus Pettersson, give him a B. Elias Pettersson, I'm going to give him an A-. Kyle, I do want to hear you touch on him because I saw you stressed on the group chats a bit about him, but I know you got caught flat-footed a bit on the power play there, but that's a tough play to really turn the Jets on when the other players got momentum. But overall, you saw a PD bomb like old. Guys still battling hard, making plays out there. Again, I think he was in preseason mode a little bit, but all in all, I think a pretty strong performance from Elias Pettersson here.
Yeah, and let's be honest, him and Quinn Hughes are so close when it comes to like their role in their team, but also just being like quote unquote veterans. And I know that's hard to say considering they're like 25 and 26 or 24 and 25 or 24 and 26, whatever the age is between both those guys. But yeah, there's no way these guys are going all out during the preseason, and I feel as if that's why. Again, I'm just traumatized, and it's leaving me wanting more. Even though this guy gives you a one-time clap bomb, and he's looking vintage. And correct me if I'm wrong, Trevor. Elias Pettersson was borderline perfect or clean or dominant in his own zone. Like I feel as if he was just so cerebral out there in the back end. I like what he did. He kind of made the play to spring Boeser and Hughes on that beautiful goal at the end of the game. All in all, though, I was super impressed, and I'll give him a B+. But yeah, again, Trevor, I'm traumatized. I'm not as strong as you. I'm not a father like you. Okay, for real. I'm not a real man. He still stresses me out every now and then. Okay, for real.
Yeah, and of course, yeah. When you have Elias Pettersson on a penalty shot against a goalie who's letting everything in, you want to see him bury it. I just couldn't get the puck up over the pad of Devin Cooley, but that's all right. I mean, I think early returns of Pettersson so far so good. Quinn Hughes, we talked about off the top, like an A+++, man. I mean, we talked about the other day. Every day is no, like Maybe the Canucks will even suck Quinn Hughes' toes for him to stay in Vancouver. I'd suck Quinn Hughes' toes, man. I'm losing it talking about Quinn Hughes, man. Unbelievable stuff. Kiefer Sherwood, good game. Give him a B+ again. Also out there on the penalty kill. Keep an eye on that. Teddy Bluger probably should have scored tonight. Give him a B+ as well. Atu Ratu, man. Got to talk about Atu Ratu for a minute. Atu Ratu's last stand, okay? We talked earlier today about, Braden Coots has outplayed him so far in camp. He's outplayed him in preseason. Could he be pushing Atu Ratu either into the press box or over to the wing? And Atu Ratu picked a perfect time to have his best game of the preseason tonight. Dominant in the faceoff circle, strong on the boards, creating things offensively. This was exactly the kind of game that Atu Ratu needed to instill confidence in the Canucks that he could absolutely be one of the best 4 centers on this team on opening night.
Yep. I don't know what else to say. For real. The only other thing I'd say about Atu, and maybe you mentioned that in your presidential speech over there, but I just liked his assertiveness. Like the fact that he was so shot hungry in the span of 1 minute. And he ended up scoring a goal on that power play too. After did he ring it off the post? I was watching it at the gym on the treadmill.
Yeah, he did ring that off the post before he scored. Yeah,
he's got a heavy shot. And again, go check out the earlier episode. Trevor Beggs bringing up the fact that Ratu could play on the wing too. With a shot like that, we've seen it multiple times now in the last 7-8 months with Atu Ratu. Good stuff, man. Good shit. I'm proud of Atu Ratu for real. Anyways, before you continue, a comment. Thank you so much to Mother Knucker for the super chat. Throwing down the Skrilla from my man Martini. I know you're going to get to Valentino Martini Mancini on the grades very soon. He played an impressive game. But whether it was a win in the preseason or not, all the fringe guys showed up. Much love from Texas to the left coast, best coast, to the west coast, best coast. I think that's what you meant to say. Yeah, all the fringe guys in pocket showed up today. And to be honest, for me, it was like Sasan and Ratu at the top of the list.
Yeah, 100%, man. Shout out to Mother Knucker, man, for the super chat. Can't wait to kick his ass in the Locked On Canucks Fantasy League. Hit us up in the Discord if you want to join that. Maybe got a spot or two left for those who want to join. Okay, next up, Tyler Myers, give him a B- tonight. Max Sasson, I'm giving him an A. A couple goals, showcasing the speed out there. I mean, look, another guy that's going to make things tough on Canucks management. It's too easy to send this guy down to the farm because he's waiver exempt. Hasn't necessarily outplayed guys like Baines and Carlson, but tonight he did. And look, I still think Max Sasson is going to go to Abbotsford. But all in all, he just made things a lot tougher on Canucks management tonight. Jake DeBrusk, the Pokemon master himself, give him a B+. He was making some plays out there. Victor Mancini, Valentino Martini, baby, leading the Canucks in ice time with over 22 minutes. Played the PK, played the power play. And I think the mistakes were gone from his game. And that's what was one of the main things I was looking for is this guy going to make mistakes tonight? And I know it got highlighted during the broadcast. Made a great play on the penalty kill in the first period. Instead of trying to force up the boards when the guy was there, skated back, which can be a risky move. But he had time, found a lane, got the puck down the ice. Like, that's the kind of stuff you want to see from Victor Mancini. We know things are good on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, he's got to clean things up. And I think he did that tonight. Linus Karlsson, I'll give him a B-. Like, played good, but he didn't stand out compared to the Abbotsford guys. And Kevin Lankinen, give him an A. I mean, maybe A-. Didn't have to stop a ton of grade A chances, but hung in there tough when duty called.
I'd give Kevin Lankinen an A+. I mean, what else are you gonna say? The goal shouldn't have even counted. The one that he let in.
It's true. Yeah.
I feel like Kevin Lankinen, like, he was one of my favorite players to watch today because I don't want to say like last year was a fluke, because going into the season, he had the fancy stats to back up a potential glow up, and he had that prior to him being fatigued and whatnot. But if we get that type of Kevin Lankinen performance 35 times a year, 38 times a year, and Thatcher Demko's completely healthy, like, I know it, man. And based on what I saw from Mancini today too, the Canucks, they're deep. They're deep. Anyways, we're deep into the first part of the show. We're gonna end it on the other side. Again, you're watching Locked On Canucks. We'll shout out a sponsor. We'll get to 99% of all your comments, and maybe. Oh, sorry.
A shout out to Olivia on the go, Dan Jardine, keeping me honest here. Great for Victor Mancini. I'm giving him an A tonight.
There you go. See, you got to do Valentino Martini. You got to give him the A. Anyways, you're listening to Locked On Canucks.
All right, before we get back to the program, let's shout out our friends over at Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's RSPs, TFSAs, properties, investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table, and you don't want to do that. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives, baby. If you've been putting off organizing your finances or you just don't give a hoot, Monarch is here for you. They do the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization about your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off, of your first year, baby. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONNHL.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. One love to you and you and you and you. Also, one love to Trevor. Just want to check. Trevor, you got to write an article very soon, or you got like 10 more minutes? Like, I want to gauge how we're going to
I got time, baby. People first, man. Come on.
Okay, let's get to the comments here on Locked On Canucks. Okay, I really like this comment from Zach, and Mike said something very similar in the Discord. Join the Discord. Best place to talk about the Canucks, on the toilet. Link in the bio. Zach, again, come on, change the display picture. It's not Tinder. This is YouTube. He's saying, seems like Adam Foote's coaching style is working so much better than Tockett's style. I know it's still preseason, but man, they look dangerous. Again, it is preseason. I don't want to overreact against the Calgary Flames. And I will say, Calgary Flames did dress a lineup that wasn't like completely shit. Like, I feel like that was 75% of their lineup. Now, I know they didn't have Dustin Wolf, but they had Uyghur playing. They had Anderson playing, Kadri, Backlund. It felt like they had some pieces, maybe like 65%. They also had Zane Parekh playing, who I was really disappointed in because I feel like maybe he succumbed to the pressure of playing against Quinn Hughes, probably one of his idols, I'm guessing. Anyways, all in all, based on what you've seen in training camp, Trevor, and you know, dive deep into your memory bank, think about this the right way. Based on what you also have seen in preseason, are you noticing a full 180 when it comes to play style with this team? Are they quicker? Are they faster? Do they transition better? Are they dumping and chasing less?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to call it full 180, but it's definitely distinctly different from what we saw under Rick Tocchet, right? Where it was a lot of dump and chase hockey. And I struggle with it a bit because Rick Tocchet was trying to push, like create more, get the puck up the ice faster, but his style was a little bit more complex than Adam Foote's style. So it looks like Adam Foote has simplified things on the defensive side, and he's asking his defensemen to pinch. And to be honest, you're seeing it a lot in preseason, right? Like, I think Quinn Hughes always does it instinctively. Like, you don't have to even coach Quinn Hughes. He just knows. But Tyler Myers, Marcus Pettersson, Derek Forbort, Victor Mancini, you saw all those guys really jumping up in the rush tonight. Maybe Philip Perron was maybe the only guy I didn't notice jumping up into the rush, but you're noticing it from all the Canucks defense. It seems like there's buy-in from everyone so far. I'm kind of curious to ask for myself, like, who does he think on the team is catching on to this the best? Coaches don't always answer that because they don't want to single guys out, but you are seeing it, again, a distinctly different product from what we saw under Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, and again, like, I feel like when I watched preseason, for whatever reason, I'm more tapped into like individualism. And again, that's me being not mature enough to watch the game correctly when, all these little things do matter. But here I am, trying to figure out if like who has chemistry with Pettersson? How is Pettersson looking? How is Pettersson looking? And how is Pettersson looking? Like, that's all I'm watching in the preseason for real. And appreciating Quinn Hughes, but I want to see it. I want to see it. And I guess next week, two pretty important games. I know Calgary overachieved last year, and they didn't. They got backstopped by Dustin Wolf, but they had 6 more points than us, and then we played the Oilers right away. So let's see how transitional they are next week for real. Anyways, next comment. Trevor, do you have a comment that you want to get to before I just hog this segment?
That's all right. I'll show up. Callum said new quick. Was the Flames team even close to icing opening night roster? I know we touched on it a bit, but they were pretty damn close. They had all their top forwards. They had all their top defensemen. Really, the main guy missing was Dustin Wolf. Like, you look
Yeah.
at the guys that they were missing, and it was like, oh my god, I forget the Russian guy on defense, like Daniil Miramanov, players like that. Like, you're talking about third, fourth line guys, bottom pairing defensemen. I know the Flames roster in general is not good, and yeah, I absolutely believe they overachieved last season. The FanDuel over under their points is like 71, which says something for a team that got 96 points last year.
Holy crap.
This Calgary Flames team is, I'd be shocked if they got within 10 points of 96 this year.
If they did, then Dustin Wolf is A, becoming a Hart Trophy candidate, B, becoming the goalie for Team Canada, or the backup to Jordan Binnington. Oh, no, he's American, right? Dustin Wolf's American, right? Or is he
I
Canadian?
believe he's American. Yeah, no, he's American. He's American.
Yeah, he's American for sure. Yo, USA is stacked, bro. Why did I think he was Canadian for a bit? Did he play in the Western Hockey League?
Yep, Everett.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm an idiot. Next comment. Callum's saying, I will admit that one-timer from EP40 gave me resurrection power. It did too, for real. It did too. And honestly, I'm not going to blame him too much on the penalty shot. Yeah, he should have lifted it up, but the goalie made a good save. But for whatever reason, Trevor, like I was more in love with the again, it's a 6-1 game at that point, but that play he made to Brock Boeser before Brock Boeser fed it to Quinn Hughes. And I don't know if I appreciated it more because I'm going to bet more wanting Elias to just be like a dominant two-way player again. And remember, like, as much as he wasn't bringing the sauce offensively in the last 20 months, I also will say I don't think he's been dominant defensively. He's been good, but I would love this guy to kick it back. And again, there was a reason why he was compared to Datsuk. And if he can be a dominant two-way player, then he controls the game in another sense, right? So all in all, Trevor, like, is there something to that? Maybe it's like the Barkov effect to me. Like, I don't need these guys picking up 100+ points. I just want us to always have the puck. Because that matters when you have Quinn Hughes, right? Like, for real.
100%. And look, there are times where Pettersson's going to be in his own zone for sure, right? So you got to be crisp defensively, and I think he's shown that. But again, he played a Kraken team where Frederick Rougeau or Riker Evans was the best player. Then he just played the Calgary Flames. Like, let's see him do it against the Edmonton Oilers or a legitimate team once the season starts. I think they played Dallas early on in that season opening road trip. Let's see the Canucks and Elias Pettersson do it against good teams. That's the next test.
100%. Next comment. NGK asking, what hits harder than Five Alive in a can? And I'm going to make this Canuck related to some sense, but were you like a big Five Alive fan growing up, or Kool-Aid Jammers? Because
No, I'd say so. With my parents, I only had Kool-Aid Jammers if I was like hanging out with my friends. But I had Five Alive like every day, so I was team Five Alive. I was forced to be that way, but that's the team I was on.
it's all the same stuff, right?
Isn't Kool-Aid way more sugary than Five Alive? I feel like it's just sugar in a pouch.
Wow. Hey, Trevor, that's the father in you coming out, judging people who are drinking Kool-Aid Jammers, huh? I saw the look in your eye, man. Anyways, man, okay, if this guy's bringing up Five Alive in a can, I got to bring this up, and it's taking me back, like going back as a Canucks fan, early 2000s. It's Bertuzzi and Naslund, and let's be real, like my introduction to the Vancouver Canucks, it was a complete blessing because Naslund's a Lester B. Pearson award-winning guy. He's on the cover of a video game. Like, already going into my fandom, my favorite team had the best player in hockey. And then 6 or 7 years later, or 8 years later, somewhat of a miracle happens because two twins become the best players in hockey for a couple of years when Ovechkin and Crosby were in their peak. And I'm like, yo, this is a blessing. And then in between that, it's like Luongo, right? We get Luongo, and he's nominated for a Vezina, and he's incredible. Starting like 70+ games and just being uber dominant and carrying the Canucks Dustin Wolf style, but actually to a playoff spot. So all in all, like, you and I have been blessed with such incredible talent, some of the best players in the league at various points. You can't say that about, like, I don't know, like, I was going to say Columbus, but they had Rick Nash. But, like, I feel like what other team in like an 8-year stretch, and I know we didn't have a lot of team success when it came to the playoffs, had that many, like, GOAT players around that time. Like, again, we were super, super blessed. And this is post Pavel Bure, right? We didn't get to witness that. It's like, again, we're very, very fortunate. But with all that being said, I've seen the highlights, and I've watched a lot of Naslund and Henrik and Daniel and all that jazz. To me, it's not even close. Quinn Hughes is the greatest Canuck ever. And I am so grateful, and I'm gonna try my hardest not to bitch and complain about like where his career is going and where he's going, even though that's probably gonna be impossible because I can't afford therapy, and at the end of the day, you gotta deal with it. But like, what a blessing. What a treat. Anytime this guy has the puck, he just does whatever he wants. And Trevor, I'm gonna ask you a question. Let us know in the comments. Is he gonna be better than he was last year?
Yeah, he is. And I say this for one simple reason, and I think the injury luck's going to be on his side. We saw a version of Quinn Hughes last year that had the potential to have 25 goals and 110 points, and he was on that pace through the first few months of the season before injuries started to take their toll. Now you got a Canucks team that theoretically should be better. The defense is better. We'll see about the forward group. The goaltending, again, if there's any injury luck on their side, it's going to be more solidified. If those things are in place and you're playing a system that, suits Quinn Hughes' style a bit more, this guy could pop up and have a historic season for the Vancouver Canucks on defense here. And again, we don't know how long he's going to be in Vancouver, but let's enjoy the ride, baby. And again, if Quinn Hughes has a monster season and the Canucks do well, all we do is increase the odds that he stays here in Vancouver.
100%. Okay, 3 more comments and we'll get out of here. I don't even know what else to say to that. I'm just enamored by Quinn Hughes and just super blessed. And like this was a preseason game, and it got to a point where I'm like, I got to stop complaining about where this guy is going because he deserves to do whatever he wants. Because I'm just grateful. I feel like I'm the biggest or most blessed sports fan in the world watching him play a preseason game. Anyways, next comment. Okay, Dan Jardine saying, I've been a Canucks fan from 1970. Bro, are you the first owner of the Vancouver Canucks? Holy. Dan Jardine, the grandpa of the program. He is. That's, again, join the Discord. He's the leader of the Discord, for real. He's saying Hughes and Burry were the best players to ever wear a Canucks jersey, and Hughes is elite at both ends of the ice. So let us know right now, Dan Jardine, in the comments. Is he the greatest Canuck ever? Next comment. Do you got one here, Trevor? Because I got one more lined up, but we'll end it on the one that I got.
All right, sounds good. I got to shout out this one, man. Nancy Bowen, okay? Up to my nephew Kyle Bowen. He's gonna be in the big league media, joining Trevor Begg someday. I know it, and man, oh man, I know we've had a nice run here on Locked On Canucks. Bigger and better things to come, and now they get to be in the booth full time. Kyle, I know you're gonna follow me soon, man. If you want, I know you always say you're fan first, not a part of the media, okay? But I'm also fan first, and I'm still in there all the time, baby.
Yeah, but you're like way more mature than me, Like you got like.
I don't know about that at all, man.
No,
I just offered to suck Quinn Hughes' toes, man. Why you call me mature?
Okay, I know, and yeah, that you're crazy for that one. I know you're just being Paul Biz nasty with it. If he can do it, anyone can do it for real. All in all, that's the last comment I was going to read because I was going to use this time to just say this, like we are super blessed. We're about to, it's October 1st. We might as well say this. I know we got another preseason game to go, but we're about to do this for the 3rd straight year, I guess. Like, is this our 3rd year of Locked On Canucks? And
our 3rd full season. Yeah. We started at the end of the 22-23 season for those just joining.
100%. And dude, I swear to you, yo, this is the truth. I don't give a puck how big this show gets or how big the audience gets. Cause like I said this when it was only Callum Sandu watching the show. Just doing this with Beggsy and being able to say whatever we want. Like we're already living the dream. This is exactly what Trevor and I want to do. I'm assuming when Trevor was 7 years old, like when I was 7 years old, but when me and Trevor met, when we were 18 years old in Kwantlen and we became friends for the first time, just after one class because we both wanted to be broadcasters. I feel as if we didn't have this in mind, but we kind of did have this in mind for real. So we're super blessed. It's going to be a fun season. Thank you so much for joining us through all of this. And Trevor, not just to make it about us, I'll say it again, and we say this all the time, and maybe you should actually end it on a similar note. But yo, you got to chase your dreams and you got to support your friends and family members who are trying to chase their dreams. And that's why we're here. to be nice to our neighbors, first and foremost. But second, like, yo, you got to do you. You got to do you. And me and Trevor have been very, very blessed to be able to do so based on like inner confidence, but also external things. Like, we got strong families and we're just blessed. Me and you are living like in the 0.1% of a lot of people. Like, come on, we're grateful. We're lucky to be able to do this. And we've been kind of gifted this as well. All in all, though, chase your dreams. One love to every single one of you. And yeah, Begsy, take it away, man.
Yeah, man, it's hard to believe that, even for me now, like getting to write about hockey for a living, getting to talk to hockey players for a living, and most importantly, getting to talk to people who want to listen to you and I, Kyle, for a living. It's it is a dream come true. And again, the followers listeners don't matter as long as people want to listen. I'm always going to be doing this here at Locked On Canucks with my brother Kyle Bowen. And you're right. We take care of our neighbors, home of the West Coast bias. That's why if you're on YouTube, you see the Edmonton Losers logo at the side here. Okay. So we take care of our neighbors. The rest of y'all, I'm not quite sure. But again, we appreciate all of you for tuning into Locked On Canucks. Well, let's make it a great season ahead. The Canucks, help us out. Please, please. But whatever happens, we'll be here for you on Locked On Canucks. If you like what we're doing, go like and subscribe to the show on the podcast. How you can follow us, leave a 5-star review, share it with a friend if you so please. Share it with your mom. She'll love it, okay? I got to get out of here before the wind blows me away. You've been listening to another episode of Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.